Okay. Cultural exchange. Jojo's part 2. Well, part 1 of part 2.
Yeah. And
And
Gideon the Ninth.
yes. What do you want to get started with?
That's up to you. Whatever.
This show is just so stupid.
Yeah.
And there's just so much filler. Every episode's like, oh no, a new stand that we cannot defeat. It's impossible. But we defeated it.
It's a stando.
I'm not watching the Japanese one, man.
Just saying, that's how everybody says it. Yeah. I knew going into this part 3 was very, very skippable. So like I had explained, like I had gotten to something I didn't like in part 3, and I just kind of stopped because I marathoned like the first 2 parts. And I got to something in part 3, and I'm like, I need to take a break. And I'm like, I really don't want to do part 3. And people were like, part 3 is very skippable. I'm like, I'm gonna go to part 4, and it's just like, but I can't because there's this thing in my head where I can't skip anything.
You're
So
like, I have to do it.
I have to get through part 3. I don't want to skip, but I also really don't want to watch part 3 that much. So I just haven't done it for like years, basically.
But you know all the memes about it.
Yeah, well, you can't be a weeb and not absorb the cultural osmosis that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It is all consuming. Like it's weird. If you started getting into more anime, it'd be weird, or like you might be more confused of like how much JoJo's has inspired. Because it's one of those things where like
I don't know. I haven't seen like the really ridiculous poses in other animes. Like all these guys look like they're just trying to like break their own backs with like how they're arching in every single pose.
Yeah, it just it's weird. It's one of those things where like the more you try, like once you know what you're looking for, you'll see it everywhere, kind of thing.
Like lick 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 lick.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Does that actually happen in any other anime?
No, nothing like that specifically, but there's a lot of like weird holding on things. I don't know the thing. So I read the manga for part 2, and when I started part 3, and like they do it a little bit differently. But I got really mad at how mean just Jotaro is to women in general in the very beginning part of the manga.
The introduction to his mom, he's just like, "Get away from me, bitch."
Yeah, and it's just like, "Hey, man, your mom's not being mean to you. Go give her a hug or something. What are you doing, bro?" And I was like, I have to stop. I can't do this. He's so like, I understand that he's like supposed to be a tsundere good boy, but it's
yeah, I don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah, I could try and explain it, but that exists outside the realm of this podcast right now. Like, what makes him tsundere is like he really loves his mama, but he won't ever like show his love for his mom. It's like
he's like embarrassed by it.
Yeah, kind of. It's partially like a masculinity thing. It's like I'll go fight an evil vampire I'll go fight an evil vampire, but it's not because like I love my mom or anything. Idiot. Ugh. I'm just like fighting vampires. I don't love my mom. Ugh. Like it's that like dynamic between the personality of just like
he's got a reputation he has to uphold.
Yeah, kind of thing. But deep down he is a good boy, like his mama says. I don't know. I do like the voice actor that they have for Jotaro in the Japanese version. He's a really good guy. Love his yare yare. It's great. I don't know. I think Avdol coming back from the dead is kind of shit.
Yeah, I was like, what the? Of course, it's anime.
Yeah, it's a little annoying. And I don't like how like Jotaro seems really nerfed for some reason throughout part 3.
Really?
Not Jotaro. Joseph.
Okay, because like Jotaro's like his stand or whatever is like, oh yeah, it can do this and rescue me from that, and then the bullshit is just so annoying.
Yeah, all of the auras. Yeah, no, but like Joseph
and they just like completely dropped the concept of Hamon, except for with Joseph. He like occasionally uses it, but he doesn't say Hamon anymore. He just says overdrive.
Yeah, that could be like a stylistic choice. I didn't get that. I don't know how it holds out in the manga per se, but this is one of those things where like you can see where like in part three, it was getting serialized. So like you needed to have like a weekly thing to in order to get like to put content on the page for people to buy. You're just like, yeah, I get it. They're heading towards Egypt, I guess. Um, oh, is there another stand? Is it another episode? Oh, okay. Do they beat it in one episode again? Oh, okay. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it was a bit much. And then I mentioned this before, but like that one little scene with the little girl in the shower and they're just like showing her naked and there's this creepy monkey like looking at her lecherously. That was just like, was that scene necessary?
I don't think that's particularly necessary, but I also don't think nudity holds the same value in Japan as it does in.
Still a little girl.
Yeah, but like it's one of those things where like specifically being nude isn't necessarily sexual in the same way. Um, but like with the monkey, it makes it weird. Um, at least from our perspective, it's like but it's like I don't know how
It's a cultural thing, I guess.
it could could be I don't know could be equally weird in Japan. I don't know.
I mean, it is called a bizarre adventure.
It's true. It is true, and it holds up to that 100%. It's never a normal adventure. They didn't like fly a plane from point A to point B. There's always like point C, D, E, and F, and some guy has to die in between. They
Yeah.
kill a lot of people, and nobody asks that many questions.
There is a lot of death in this. Like there was a whole town of just dead people.
Yeah. Although, wait, are we talking about the fog thing? Because they were already dead?
Yeah, well, I mean, they got killed by the fog, I'm assuming.
No, the whole town was a graveyard at the end of the episode. Don't
No,
you
yeah,
remember?
but no, yeah, it was at the end of the episode, but how did it get from that? How did it get to that point? Like, did that little old lady like go in there, kill everybody, and then assume their corpses?
No, I think she just resurrected the whole town and like had like and like created a fog village that made it look like a real village. Because I thought the whole area was a graveyard.
Oh.
And
Yeah, a
the
lot
whole
of
thing
the
was an
episodes kind
illusion.
of blended together for me. Like, I don't even remember how the hell this thing ended. I just remember they're in Egypt.
Yeah, they're in a submarine. They're doing their best 20,000 leagues under the sea, um, and then they get eaten by a giant stone ocean floor. Um,
Yeah.
and
And then
then
Jojo punches his way through some teeth.
yeah, he punches out the priestess's teeth or whatever, and they're just like, "Oh man, she's ugly now," and now they're in Egypt. Okay,
Yeah, so that's JoJo's part 3, part 1.
yeah,
So it's just going to be another like 20 episodes of filler until we get to the finale.
I don't know. They're supposed to be fighting Dio. I don't know how much stuff is there. Um, Probably.
We'll see what happens there. Okay. Gideon the Ninth. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Okay.
What did you think?
It was okay.
That's it? You have nothing to comment on it?
I don't know. Reading this book, I was like, you would probably really like The Prince of Thorns if you're a really big fan of this book.
I mean, which is Prince of Thorns?
I don't know. It's a 3-part series. Prince of Thorns, King of Thorns, Emperor of Thorns, or something like that. It's set in a post-apocalyptic future Earth where magic is real, and you follow this little shit-stained kid named Jorg Enkrath, I think, if I'm remembering it correctly. And he's just an absolute piece of shit. And
Is he more of a piece of shit than Harrow?
yeah, like he's about the same. Yeah, kind of.
Okay, yeah, because Harrow's kind of a bitch.
Yeah, it just gave me a lot of this like future Earth vibes, but with like a lot of like death and necromancer stuff, and
Yeah,
that
so-
reminded me a lot.
Like, They keep saying 9 planets. So I mean, initially I thought that, 9 planets, oh, it's our solar system. But it doesn't seem like it is. It seems
No,
like
they
it's
say
just.
nine. I don't know anything about 9 planets. They say 9 houses or
Well, each
whatever.
house has a planet, is the thing.
Oh. So
Yeah.
you thought each.
And so I thought
Yeah,
it was
but
like, is this our solar system?
there was nothing specific that made me think it was restricted to our solar system per se.
No, yeah, and you'll get more into it. Like when I first read it, that's what I was thinking, maybe. But then I was like, I kind of dropped it because it was like, nah, they're not really hinting at anything. It's just there's a bunch of humans, but it's a different thing. And then you get more into it in book 2.
Mm.
But what did you think of like all the necromancy stuff?
I don't know. It was a very soft magic system.
Yeah,
It
they
was-
really don't go into explaining it. I think if I remember correctly, they go further into it in book 2.
Yeah, I don't know. It was okay. It was just like, okay, it's weird that there's only necromancy if there is magic. I don't know why there isn't non-necromancy magic. Um,
Yeah, like the whole concept, from what I understand it, is like this Necrolord Prime, which gives me like huge vibes to the Necromongers from Chronicles of Riddick.
yeah.
Like he like restarted the star in that solar system by killing it and then like resurrecting it. So like all the planets there now survive on that kind of like that thanergy, that death energy. And that's why like the whole magic system is just based off of death magic.
Okay.
Yeah. But the next book gets kind of crazy. Again, I have not listened to the audiobook for the second book, but my understanding is that it kind of ruins a spoiler. But
Okay.
I still want to make you listen to it, and I want to see how angry you get at it, because the whole book is like gaslighting you.
Oh, that sucks.
It's like the first 80% of the book is gaslighting you, and then like at 80%, it just clicks and everything starts making sense, and you're like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, so I don't know. One of the things that I thought this book was kind of straightforward. Like it felt very early on that like, oh, one person has to sacrifice themselves in order to become.
Like they hint at that quite a bit to become a
Yeah.
lictor, because like everything has to deal with, hey, I'm sending my cavalier in there to do all this, and then I got to do my part, and they're basically taking all the damage.
Yeah, it's all very early, very obvious that somebody's gonna die. I thought the trick was that you had to have the necromancer sacrifice themselves in order to invest the power into the
Cavalier.
cavalier. Thank you. I kept wanting to say rapier. And it would be like this weird thing where you had to test the selfishness of Harrowhark to see if she would be able to give up power in order to like save or like have this thing happen for her family. Because that's all because I thought the book was called Gideon the Ninth. I thought it would all be about like her like coming into the story kind of thing, and then it's just like no, it's really the book should be called Harrowhark. And I'm like, okay, that's
Well,
fine.
that's the name of the second book, Harrow the Ninth. So the
Yeah.
way that it works is, for at least what I'm gathering, is that each book, the title is based off the character that is the perspective that you're going to be following. So this one's Gideon the Ninth because you're in the perspective of Gideon. Harrow the Ninth is in the perspective of Harrow. The next one that's coming out was supposed to be Electo the Ninth, but they pushed that one to become book 4, and book 3 is going to be, I'm blanking on the name because they kind of just like announced it. So it was supposed to be, It was supposed to originally just be the Lock Tomb trilogy. It was supposed to be those 3 books. And then I guess it kind of blew up, and she was like, well, I kind of have more ideas and I kind of want to write a little bit more. So she wrote a 3rd book. I can't say much about the 3rd book without kind of adding spoilers into for book 2. So I won't say anything, but it's that one's going to be interesting compared to these 2 and probably the Electo the Ninth book. Yeah. But I am I thoroughly enjoy the series. Just it's something new. I really liked. I've shown you the cover art for the books. I really like the cover art. Um, I like that Gideon's kind of just a smartass and sassy, and she does all the puns.
Yeah, I think you'll like. I think you would like Prince of Thorns.
Okay, I think I might have that like on my to read list with Goodreads, and I just haven't gotten around to it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't remember. It was like a few months back. I just like went through a bunch of things and just started like adding things to Goodreads, and then trying to see if I could get them all from Overdrive and going through like that. So you didn't hate it. You just thought it was okay.
Oh, it was fine. It was fine. Yeah, it was just like
But like, so question, because you when we were talking about the Thrawn trilogy, you were like, I was kind of meh about it. So, or you were like, it's okay, but you're also saying it's okay for this one. So, are you meh about it, or you enjoyed it
I like.
more?
I think I enjoyed this more than the Thrawn books, for sure. Like I like it. It's fine. It's not. I wasn't tired with it. It just like it didn't shock me or anything. Like I felt like I've been here before. Um, Again, getting a lot of Prince of Thorn vibes. Um, it reminded me that like I want to read a 40K book.
Oh yeah, I hear those are. The one thing that about the 40K books is they're goddamn expensive, and like a lot of them aren't like available on Overdrive or anything.
I know that there's like one really really good series that I've been tempted to keep trying, but I just got so many other
Yeah,
things to
there's a
read.
few, but there's one specifically about like I think it's a certain branch of Space Marines that's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
But I just it's the thing about 40K is that there's just so much to it that like
Yeah.
getting into it, like you'd say that getting into like Malazan was a daunting task, and that's just 10 books and then a few other books. Like 40K is like 50 some odd books for just like one series, and there's more.
Yeah, I don't know how tightly all the stories are there because there's a bunch of different authors and stuff.
From
I
my
just know that.
understanding is like the first few books are kind of just like one-offs by a bunch of different authors, and then like at a certain point it changes over and they all start kind of like going through one big narrative.
Yeah, I heard the early books were all kind of meth though.
Yeah, but they the thing is the early books, while being met, apparently they set up some stuff for the things when they become kind of serialized.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because it's 40K, there's a bunch of lore and a bunch of different things, and you have to pick it up from these old books, which are kind of meh. So it's just weird or something. I don't know. I've been kind of toying with the idea of getting into 40K, but I'm really just like, no, I don't think I want to invest all that. It's like you with One Piece. That's the one with like 1,000 episodes or something, right?
Yeah.
You're like, if I start this, I'm gonna have to finish it, and I don't want to spend all that time.
Yeah, and it's just like I just wish the collective anime community would forget One Piece exists. Because in a way, like nobody cares if you never watched Naruto or Bleach or whatever, but people like it used to be like one of those things where like people really cared about it, and then nobody does anymore. And now it's you. I was hoping that the same thing would happen with One Piece,
And then it never
but
did.
it's getting bigger. That's the thing I don't understand. It's it's insane. Like it literally like I've seen like a bunch of YouTube anime personalities that I watch be like, I'm gonna start One Piece. And it just becomes all consuming into their lives. And it's just like people who want you to do One Piece don't respect you, is what I've gathered, because they don't respect that you have time or things to do. They don't care if you have any relationships or if you have other things to do. It just they don't respect you.
And you don't want to drink the Kool-Aid.
Kinda. It's just like I don't I got other things to do, man.
Even if you just said, I'm gonna give myself a few years, I'm gonna watch one episode a day.
I don't think I would watch it. I think I would read it. I think I would just buy like because they have like these giant collections boxes of just where you can get the physical manga, and I'd probably just do something like that. If I was gonna do it, but I just
You're like, no, I can't. I got other
it
things. I got other animes to watch.
yeah.
All right, so next episode, I just want to finish it off. So, Harrow the Ninth, book 2 for
Okay,
the Lock
Hair of the
Tomb,
Ninth.
and then I guess obviously part 2 of part 3 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Yeah, sounds good. I want to get this out of the way because I want to watch part 4.
I feel like I've really been waiting for part 4.
Kinda.
All right,
I really want to watch part 5 because part 5 has Giorno, and
like
his
DiGiorno pizza.
kinda Giovanni Giorgio.
Okay, so an
That's
Italian JoJo.
Italian Jojo. And he has the best song in all of JoJo's, and that's saying a lot because there's a lot of great songs.
Like the best ending song, because like this one was the Walk Like an Egyptian thing.
No, character song. So like, there's the Pillar Man song. There's a couple of other songs that are fantastic, and then there's Giorno's theme, and that's an absolutely fantastic song. I'll link you to it. It's great.
Okay.
Um,
All right. So 2 weeks, and we'll be back
2
at
weeks.
it.
Yep.
All right, and that's that.
All right.